Hello traders, in today's video we're going to be doing a market update and taking a look at the currency market, looking for major structural areas, zones, and even some trade ideas. We've got NFP today, which is going to throw a loop in things, so we want to watch out for all US dollar and Canadian pairs as they may be highly volatile. So first let's start with euro dollar. I've got this simple trend line here drawn. You can see to the downside we have a lot of bearish momentum, and as price has come up into these regions, historically we've seen a lot of sell pressure. So as price comes into this area, I think that we have a possibility to see some sort of sell side action along this trend line. The less likely scenario, but it is possible, is that if we do see a break of that trend line, a retest of that could be a nice opportunity to the long side, maybe even to test recent structure highs. Let's go ahead and move on to GBP USD, which is going to be our next one. Currently pulling back off of its rally from yesterday. You can see price is kind of fading back towards kind of structure here. And in fact, I actually want to bring this up right here on the 1 hour chart. This might be helpful to somebody. You can see this area here is a potential level of support, and you can see it's already kind of bounced off of that structure right here with this wick, right? So this might be an area to watch. Again, we have NFP, so GBP USD has USD in it, so we might see some sort of volatility there, but just to watch this level might be something interesting. If we do see a bounce off of this structure, might be a continuation of kind of this trend line here. You can see that's a very ugly trend line, but you guys get the point, right? We might see that continuation where there might be some opportunities to ride a bullish push. And if we see a break, of course, a retest of structure might be a good opportunity to look for some sort of sell side action. Let's go ahead and move on to USD JPY, which is our next one, which continues to fall. We see dollar yen continuing to get that pullback, and you can see kind of breaking structure there. We did have a support level right here that did not hold, and now we're seeing price retrace further. However, we are still in the area here, you can see, of this support zone. If we look left, right around that particular area, we still have kind of some support structure there, and so we might see some sort of bounce off of that level here. So let's go ahead and continue on to Brent crude oil, and let's clear the chart. And you can see that price has fallen considerably on Brent crude. You can still see that we are in a down push here, but we are finding some sort of momentary support, at least for the time being. If we bring it to the daily chart, you can see we are currently holding this zone right here. We'll see how that goes forward. If we can get some sort of a bounce, we may head back to some sort of structure. I think that this level here, if we get another horizontal line, this level here might be a potential target if you are a bull on oil to see a bounce there. Now WTI crude is going to look pretty similar, of course, and you can see if we grab a black marker, you can see we filled the gap here, right? And price continued down, and we've actually broken through this level of support here. So for the time being, we are seeing a breakdown to the low side, and so something to watch for is, of course, if we back up, this longer term support level down at the 51.10 level. We've already bounced off of it once, and the question will be, can we hold that structure? Next up is gold, guys. Gold has found a considerable bounce off of this kind of low that we put in on the daily chart. You can see the question will be on this one that I'd look for is if we draw this trend line, right? This historical trend line, if we come back to retest this area, we want to see how sellers react. We've put in a high and then a lower high, right? And so price coming forward, we'll be watching to see how price rejects or breaks this trend line here. Something to consider there on gold. Let's go ahead and take a look at dollar Canadian, which will heavily be impacted by the NFP news that's coming out, right? And so when we're looking here at USD CAD, you can see on the 4 hour chart, we do have some structural points here. You can see that this zone, this previous level of resistance might come into play. So if price comes down into this area, right, it might be an opportunity to look for some sort of bounce off of that structure. And of course, we have recent structural levels of resistance up at the high point here to watch out for. Last is going to be GBP Swiss, and what you can see here on this particular pair is that we do have some structure levels to look out for. This level in particular is a historical level of support, and so as price falls, if we see price come into that area, might be interesting to see what goes on in those areas. We also have that recent structure high as kind of a high point to look for potential resistance. Guys, thanks so much for joining me on today's market update, and we'll catch you next time.